Hi, it's Jeff Chalmers here from discoverdouble.bass.com. We have a whole range of lessons and courses that teach you to play the double bass. Our tutors cover different styles and genres, and you can find out all about them over at discoverdouble.bass.com. And today I'm joined by our classical specialist, Jason Heath. So Jason, thanks for joining me today.
Jeff, it's an honor. It's been so fun this week. So great working with you and everybody here, and I have just had a great time.
Oh, well, we've absolutely loved having you. We've created some great material, and it's been a real joy to watch you teach and to chat and get excited about the double bass. And we've been looking at or discussing quite a lot about some of the things that hold people back, that you can get fixated on. And I think the one thing that pretty much every bass player has struggled with at some point is intonation, you know, and playing with great tuning and really reliable intonation. And this is a theme that comes up again and again in the course. So I was hoping maybe you could give us a few tips to help us play more in tune and get some nicer sounds out of that instrument.
Yeah, and I mean, we could chat for hours about this. It's definitely something that I have to work on every single day. I think
It's like a fitness, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like a sort of level of fitness and strength that you have.
Yeah, it is. It's something that you just have to constantly be on guard for and thinking about. And it's not just me, it's not just bass players. The great cellist Pablo Casals, back in the early 20th century, he used to talk about how every day he started on his open C string and he played C. He put his first finger down for D, and then he'd have to find the E. It wasn't quite in tune. So every day, and he's one of the most well-respected musicians of all time, he had to find the E every day. So it's not just us. But there are some concepts that I think are really helpful for developing consistent intonation. And my good friend Kate Jones, who teaches Suzuki bass in the Dallas area, I was watching her teach a whole group of young bass players, and she was using some words that really resonated with me. And she talked about this as being a wooden bell. And I love the idea of the bass being a wooden bell. And she was playing this note right here, A. And she was having the students listen to the vibration of the bass. We'd call it sympathetic vibration, just the vibration of the instrument. And it's amazing how the bass itself will tell you if you're in tune or out. I'm pretty in tune. Let's go a little out of tune. You can hear it's like, it's sort of got this like, it doesn't have that quite of, you can hear that ring. And especially on A, on D, you can hear your bass ring. So just listening and feeling for those sympathetic vibrations is huge. Now, we also have so many tuning aids just within the bass itself. We have 4 open strings. We can use those with a lot of notes to check our intonation. So if I'm on the note A here, I can check it so many different ways. I can play open D and A together. Feels, not only how it sounds, which is critical, but how it feels. Our bass produces such a large amount of vibration that we can actually feel it with our body. Actually, a wonderful bassist from Puerto Rico, Hector Torrado, is deaf. And he plays bass, he plays recitals because he can just hear the pitches by feeling them through proprioception. It's amazing. So use that sense to feel if you're in tune or not. And in addition to the open strings, we have all these harmonics. And down here, we can check. We can check to see if we're in tune. And finally, I spend a good portion of every practice session with a drone on. And by that, I mean I have an electronic tuner, and if I'm playing in the key of G, I'll put a G on, or maybe even a D, the 5th, and I'll just spend some time playing through my music with a D drone or a G drone, and really making sure that everything I'm playing lines up. I listen to how those intervals sound, and I just have to spend time every day doing that.
And once everything lines up and the tension kind of releases, then you get that resonance and you really feel, it feels different, doesn't it? There's no tightness and to the sound. It's very open. Yeah. And I think it's a great thing to be aware of. So Jason, thanks so much for sharing that. It's been really helpful. And if you want to learn more from Jason, we have a whole series of lessons and courses. Plus, you can check out his podcast, Contrabass Conversations. I'm sure you've probably heard it already. But if you haven't, make sure you go and check out the links below. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you all next time.